48 hours is how much time you have left to actually develop your action plan. Now, the first thing that you need to do is, and to understand, is you will need to join a platform called PeerGrade. Now, a simple way to say it is that the rest of the course will take place on PeerGrade. So unlike Zoom, where we're all connected at the same time, one of the benefits of PeerGrade is you'll be able to connect at any time within the deadlines. All right. So you'll have the instructions here. We'll go back to that. Now, you may say, well, I'm not sure I understand what these instructions are telling me to do. Well, this is where Charlotte comes in, because starting tomorrow, she will be organizing for you a series of peer support sessions. And now you should join if you need support, or if you wish to support your colleagues. So even if you're doing really well, this is peer support. So this is colleagues helping each other. And you can see the times, it's 11 a.m. Geneva time. So by now you should be able to figure out what time that is for you. And then it is in this same Zoom room. So you'll be able to use the exact same link. So those are the key pieces of information. To put that in perspective, remember the certification requirements. There are 5. The action plan is requirements 3, 4, and 5. So more than half of the certification requirements is related to your action plan. Second, with respect to the learning activities, what we're doing today and what we did yesterday was about working in small groups as well as in a plenary session. In the next 48 hours, and actually for the remainder of the course, your focus is going to be on your course project and on peer reviewing, helping your colleagues improve their own course projects. So remember, the goal of the course is not these Zoom sessions. The Zoom sessions are part of the support system, but the goal of the course is for you to develop a quality action plan. If you do it right, you should actually be able to use this action plan when you go back to work after the course. So there are 4 steps to the action plan: identifying your most important, or certainly a priority challenge, if not the most important one, where you work. Second, explaining your context. And you'll see you will begin to connect the dots between what you did yesterday in the itch sessions, in the group plenary sessions, and what you will be doing in the action plan. Everything you've been doing so far is related to, is preparing you to practice, helping you practice what you will be doing with developing your action plan. Set, of course, a specific goal, and then prioritize concrete action steps. Now, the thing to understand here is usually developing a project like this is done over the course of several weeks. Here, we've given you 72 hours to do it. And there's a reason for that. Now, some of you really didn't like having this time constraint upon you. And many of us would wish for courses to have sort of unlimited time, but time is the most precious resource. And actually in the real world, we seldom have the luxury of taking as much time as we need. It's more like your boss requests something for tomorrow or for today because he or she needs it right away for their own purpose. So that is what we are simulating in a way. So you can see here, by Thursday, you submit your action plan. Then you have until Monday to complete your peer reviews. And on Tuesday, you'll be receiving feedback from peers and the experts in the final mandatory session. So there are 2 key documents, and I'm going to share them again. So first of all is the rubric. And we'll look at that together. I just need to share with everyone. And then you do have a template document. So this is a Word document, which I will also share. And if you haven't looked at these yet, now is the time. So let's look first at the rubric. This is your instruction manual for what needs to go in the plan. You have guiding questions, you have specific instructions, and you have this rubric ratings. These are not grades, but this you can use to self-assess how you are doing with respect to your plan as you begin writing it, fleshing it out. So you can see there are sections. So VPD Surveillance Challenge, context. There's a lot on context, actually, as you can see here. There are many questions. You do not need necessarily to be exhaustive and try to answer everything. Pick, and this is part of the critical thinking you'll need to exercise, is pick which questions matter for you. What is important in the work that you are doing? because the ultimate goal is for you to be able to use the action plan for yourself. But of course, it also has to pass the test of your colleagues. Your colleagues are going to be looking at your action plan and giving you feedback. So the rubric is the instruction manual. That is where you start. But then you also have the Word document. So the rubric is a template. Now you also have the rubric is a PDF document. It is not a template. It is not editable. This is the surveillance action plan template. And the first thing you do, we find even the most diligent learners somehow miss this. You see how it's in yellow? It's big. Change this title. So do not leave this alone. Change it. And change it to summarize in a few words with an action verb what you propose to do. So, and then you have some boxes to fill in. So this is like a form, your country of focus, your location, your role, function, title. This should not take you too long. So please don't spend time in this. Where you want to go is here. So here you see that this corresponds to what we saw in the rubric. It's got a summary of the instructions, but the actual detailed instructions are found in the rubric. So don't simply answer this unless you have waited until the last minute to do your action plan. But hopefully none of you are in that situation yet. The VPD Surveillance Context, here you have different sections. So workforce, laboratory, information systems, applied research, sustainable financing, your goal. And then the concrete actions actually takes the form of quite a dense table with 3, 6, 7 columns. And then up to 3 actions. You can add more than 3 actions if you feel they're really important, but remember this is about prioritization. So prioritizing the 3 most important actions that you will need to take. So this is the Word document where you will actually do your writing in. And I've just shared in case, so it was again shared 8 days ago as an attachment, shared throughout the week in Telegram, and then shared again today in the chat. So make sure you have both of these documents in order to make progress. And as I said, so just to drive home again, let me see, where's the calendar? So on Thursday, when you submit your action plan, you are not done. On Thursday, when you submit your action plan, you start peer review, which means you will receive works of 3 of your colleagues. And your task at that point is to actually help your colleagues do better with their action plans. So you'll read their action plans, and then inside peer grade, that's why peer grade is so important to this process, you'll give the feedback to those plans. The peer review will be anonymous. You won't know who's writing, and they won't know that you are the one giving them feedback. If this is not enough for you to be clear about what you need to do, this is where Charlotte is your new best friend. Because starting tomorrow at 11 and every day after that, she is organizing peer support sessions. Now, peer support means that if you are doing just fine, you may consider, if you have the time and would like to help your colleagues, you're joining those sessions. And then Charlotte will turn to you. So you can be the ones who explain how something works because you have already done it, you know how to do it, and you want to help others. But primarily, of course, for those of you who need help. I know that leaves very little time for questions. But again, if you have questions, you'll be able to ask them tomorrow at 11. That's why we have these peer support sessions. Charlotte, as you are a new best friend for many, many participants in the room, could you tell us a little bit more about these sessions?
I think you have summed it all up so well. Reda, I hope you're able to hear me because I'm getting indications that my connectivity is unstable. But just to say, it's really about moving forward, with the action plan. As Reda said, you have only 48 hours. So we want to make the time count for you. So we'll have 60 minutes during which you effectively make progress. So I like to advise, even if you're connecting using your phone, you should have your computer with you so that if by tomorrow your action plan is not yet complete, during the 60 minutes, we'll be working towards you progressing, making progress or finishing the development of your action plan. Also, it's really time for using experience sharing and what we have been doing during the various group works to move forward, as I said, with the action planning. And then there will also be the technical support if you're having difficulty accessing peer grade, if you're having issues with your password and all of that, we will also take the time to focus on that. Thank you, Reda.
Thanks. And I do see one question from Signy Mekonnen who says, who assigns the peers as reviewers? So that is done automatically by the platform. It's completely random. You don't know who's going to review you, and you don't know who you are going to review, and neither do we. We will keep an eye on the peer review process, and there is a facility. So if you see, now you won't see the feedback until the deadline, the Thursday deadline is passed. It's only after, and you will not see the feedback unless you have submitted your own project. You will not get to peer review anyone else's work until you submit your own, of course. So that is what we can tell you about the... Oh, okay, I see another question. Let me see. From Pamela Oben. Sorry, I almost missed your question. Can I submit my action plan today? If it is ready, yes, you can. The platform is already open. I will briefly show you what it actually looks like. So to work through the instructions here. So as you can see, I go to this link here. And let me see if I can pull this up on my... All right, so we don't want the Word document. We want this. Yeah. And here it asks you to type a code. Again, if this is too quick, if you're not able to follow what I'm doing right now, join the support session with Charlotte tomorrow. You grab the code. So I'm copying and pasting, and then you go to your here. And now here's a critical juncture. If you have used PeerGrade before, you are an existing user, but be careful. You will need to recall the email and the password that you used in the past. If you're a new user, you've never used PeerGrade before, you create your account. So I'm going to pretend I'm a new user. Whoops. And I'm going to use, whoops. All right. Going to put in an email address, a password. So when you type your password in, make sure you can recall your password. 90% of the problems that people face is because you're in a hurry, you're trying to figure out how it works, you type in some password and then you don't remember what it is, or you use many different emails and you forget which of the many emails that you use is the one you use to sign up. So click on sign up. And now you're in the platform, and you can see here you can already submit your work. You need to submit your work by Thursday, 14th of July, 23:59. This again is Geneva time. You click on submit here, and then of course you need to have done the work. You'll select a file to upload. Some people upload the wrong file. If you do that and the deadline passes, there's nothing we can do for you. So be careful. Again, advanced course. We expect you to take the responsibility for your actions and to be careful before you start doing things.